Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Right. Already with the foolishness. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colors. Do, 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 do. Give me a
Give me
high
a high
five.
five. Yeah.
All right now.
Virtual doesn't
Break.
stop us. Have y'all missed us?
I
It's
have.
been a long time. We shouldn't have
left you without no beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. That's the new. I know y'all missed that. Had to bring that back.
Seek Out Podcast.
You know what? I
Right,
am Shelby Denise. I'm gonna be regular today. I am Shelby Denise, just for the first time. So we're coming
Hello,
back.
everyone. My name is Kiana. I have many names. Call me what you want. Just don't call me broke.
And we are the drama. The drama. The drama, however you want to say it. We are the drama. So many people think we are a child, so we just have to lean into that. We're leaning into that in 2022. Together, we are the drama.
The drama. Oh, child.
And I'm fine with that.
And that's fine. And we are bringing you all the Seek Help podcast to hopefully encourage therapeutic conversations within your own personal life, to hopefully encourage you to seek help, whether that's therapy, a life coach, a mentor, whatever that may look like for you. We want you to know that this is a safe space. There may be a twinge of judgment because that's just how we are, but don't take it personal. But yeah, we really want to show how just having an open, honest conversation can really have an impact on your life.
Yes.
And also, because I got to, with the Seek Help, you know, you can call me Kiki, your LPC to beat, baby.
Okay. The letters are coming. The letters are coming.
Okay.
What did Brittany Pitt say? It's the letters for me. It's the letters for me.
3 to 4 years, baby. Okay. I will be available to provide you therapeutic services, but your girl is in school on the way. Hey, okay.
The letters are coming.
Learning, educating. My final assignment last semester was on attachment styles. Yeah. We all need help. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Lots of fun. Tons of fun.
Sure, that was fun. Did you have to like do your own, or you just had to talk about them in general?
So it was 4 of us in a group, and we each like picked an attachment style.
A group
and so then
assignment.
We started
fine.
So then we started talking about them, and somebody was trying to explain anxious avoidant, and I'm like, no, that ain't it. Let me tell you, because I know. Oh, well, why don't you just do that one, Kiana?
You know what?
We could just do a role play where, you know, someone, a young woman, because it wasn't supposed to be like us. We were supposed to be role playing. A young woman, because of her anxious avoidant attachment style, finds it very difficult to be in relationships with other people. I was just sitting there like, y'all really finna do this right now? Like, this is not, I didn't come here for this.
That was somebody else's suggestion to do.
This was in the group. They're like, yeah, you could do the role play and you could just be a young woman who's dating and is having difficulties maintaining relationships. I was just like, oh. And then the other lady, she was avoidant, and she's like telling us all the tea about her and her husband and how she don't be trying to talk to him and she be avoiding her kids. So that was her role play. And then the other lady was anxious. So she's like, yeah, I was dating this guy and he wouldn't text me. And so that was her role play. I'm like,
wow.
So we all just came up here to bare our hearts. Y'all could have told me this before. Like, but it was fun. It wasn't actually fun. I had to, I don't know if I told you about this. I was in Costa Rica when we recorded this group project.
That was the Costa Rica incident.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had to message my teacher because he tried to take points off because I wasn't in the presentation.
Yes.
And so I was like, Thought it was a TikTok. I said,
The drum line
actually,
beat.
oh girl said that I was too dark to be on camera. So that's why I wasn't. He said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you them points back. And yes, you will. Thank you. End of the
You will.
semester. You've been a pleasure. Like, because what we're not gonna do is penalize me for my blackness.
That's it. Literally.
He gave me the 5, and the part that was really getting me was those 5 points were the difference from an A- and an A. So I was good.
You did tell me
after
that, and I was like,
I was good.
you know what? Here
I
we
literally
go
had like a
from
93.7.
A
I'm like,
minus to A.
I need these 5 points, bro, or like a 92.7 and a 93 was an A. I'm like, these 5 points literally put me at a 93.0. Like, I'm gonna need you to come above them. I'm gonna need you to come above those, sir. And he did. So shout out to them.
Like Coco Jones on Terrell's show. I'm begging for points.
I'm begging for points. Like, what
begging.
do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? It's not my fault that I'm in a creep van in Costa Rica with shitty Wi-Fi. I didn't ask for it. Well, I did ask for it, but besides the point.
Right. That's fine.
Oh, Kiki, your LPC to be, holla at me in about 2024. I haven't decided what the name of my practice is going to be yet, but
it's fine.
Y'all will be here along the journey, so
it'll come.
You will know.
Could be seek help. Ding ding. Just
that's a little too on the
I know it's a little too on the I just just thought I'd throw that out there. It just seemed right to but that's all. That's all. Just a little.
And on that note,
a little salt. Where's Chris when you need him? Well, throw a little salt.
Always, somebody's got to do it. All right, y'all. So we've switched things up a little bit in terms of our segments and the way we want to break the show up. We don't want to keep y'all too long. We know y'all got stuff to do.
We're trying.
Lives to live, pandemics to survive.
Ooh.
All of the things. So,
all of them.
For what used to be our For the Culture segment, where we used to shout out Black-owned businesses, we are now using that to shout out Black-owned media. Is that the best?
Yeah.
I don't have COVID. Don't do me.
You know what? Everybody's, regular colds still exist. Everybody, regular sickness is still a thing. We don't all have Omarion, Delta, and all the other girls. Touch. We just, that does still exist. Regular runny noses, allergies, all the things still exist.
Coughs. Imagine that. Coughs. But also, wear your mask.
But really.
2 masks, 3 masks. Okay, so For the Culture. Excuse me, could you hear that?
Oh, Jesus. Much like I tell my mother all the time, your reaction is much bigger than what you did ever could be. Like, my mom, every time she lets out anything, is just automatically like, oh God, excuse me, literally. Like, girl, nobody heard what you did. We only know what you did because you just said that. Like, it's, yes. So no, I did not hear that. But I know you did something now because here we are.
Came out my mouth, not my tutor, to be clear.
Yeah, I mean, I gathered that.
It would be remiss if the 2 best friends that there ever was did not take a moment to acknowledge the greatness that is Issa Rae's Insecure.
Absolutely.
Just
we are gonna clap it up for Issa. All the girls, Molly.
Across the board.
We just need to do a little
Natasha.
more for Kelly. Oh, like, why does Kelly have to leave me? I mean, Natasha will be back. And it's fine because we know Natasha is insanely talented. She literally did not have to audition for the show. Like, she was a writer and they said, girl, you have to play Kelly because you keep reading it like this. You have to play her. So talent. Like,
talent.
talent.
If
She's
y'all
the
have
only
not
one.
watched the documentary, please go watch the documentary. Get your tissues and go watch the documentary
Please,
because
please.
what's it called? Insecure the End on HBO.
Yes,
Please watch.
Insecure the End.
Oh, so
just
good.
so abrupt. The end. It's just, it just feels like it came so abruptly. But it's fine. It's fine.
6 years later?
Yes, 6 years later for the cast. 5 seasons, 6 years, and they're all booked and busy. Who can complain? Literally from the rooter to the tutor.
Blessed, booked.
Yes, busy.
Come on, Tammy.
Honestly, she partially stole my shirt because I'm still planning on doing. I used to say be black and blessed all the time. She partially stole my saying. Still can do a t-shirt of be black and blessed. But when I saw that, I was like, that's all you say to people. If somebody trying to make you, as Tabitha says, if somebody is trying to give you a bad day, girl, be black and blessed. Like, that's all I have for you. Be black and blessed.
That's it.
Be white and blessed. Whatever you are. I just
be blessed.
Be blessed.
Over there.
Blessed and highly favored, child. Do what you got. Amen. Hallelujah.
You know what? Now, as I'm sure y'all can imagine, me and Shelby have already dissected Insecure up, down, left, right, sideways.
Right.
But just wanted to shout that out. For me personally, I think the most important thing to bring up right now is that last episode, because I saw a lot of people feeling like, and me and her have already talked about this, like that last episode could have been the whole season. But as she and I discussed, if they made that last episode an entire season, we would have had more questions than we did with the way that they let it go. It was very birthday. Like, this is where we're at. This is what it is. Who cares?
It should have been very simple to follow, people. I don't understand the complaint of it being hard to follow. 1 birthday, 2 birthday, 3 birthday, 4 birthday, circle around again and repeat. Like, it just wasn't hard to go through. There are 4 people with 4 birthdays. So we just went birthday to birthday. And different things happened for each birthday, much like in real life. Like, it just should not have been hard to follow. It just should not have been. They grew up. I just don't like. Oh, it should not have been hard to follow.
People wanted more. The only episode that I really could have done without was them looking for this damn dog. That was it. And you know what? It's not that I even could have did without the episode. I feel like they were barely looking for that dog. That's the part
they were barely looking for that dog.
They were barely looking for that dog.
Because Issa too busy
and sat down
trying to figure out if she was in love. That was a setup for being in love and all the things. And him not saying it back. That was sign enough right there for all the Nathan stands that she needed to go. She needs to go.
That will never make me. So, little sidebar. When I first moved to Maryland, I lived with my brother and my sister-in-law, and they had a dog who liked to escape. And one time, my ex came, and I think we were still married at the time, and we was outside. I want to say we were like outside smoking in the car or whatever, and we had left the main door open. And the screen door was closed.
I remember.
This damn dog hops up, opens the door, zooms out. So we had the car chasing him. He gone into the woods. We went into the woods and was looking for this damn dog. It was literally like a marriage, like a premarital counseling exercise. We are literally in this woods, like also being black. And I'm just like, hey, bro, if you hear a twig, crack.
Right.
Let me know.
Black people trying to help.
We black and we in the woods right now. Like, no, sir. Needless to say, we did not find the dog, but much like Molly's dog, his ass came strolling right back up to the house of his own recognizance. So if your dog runs away, just let him go and they come back. That's my advice for y'all. Don't go looking for the dog.
Not
I can't
always.
even say that we bonded. He was so
Um,
mad at that dog, and I'm mad at him. I'm like, it's your fault. You should have locked the door. You know, the dog escapes. And he's just
well,
like, what's wrong with this dog? I'm like, he wants freedom, as we all do. It was a mess, but he came back.
I mean,
So
as a
shout
person
out
who
to Oliver.
also has her own experiences with dogs running away, they
Mm-hmm.
don't always I feel like I've told you this. The dogs that we had when I was younger, before like right up to moving to this house that we're in now, um, Rufus and Keiko. They Keiko was, I can't remember what type of dog Keiko was. She was a little bit bigger, not like, I would say maybe a good medium size. Rufus was like short, like a shorty, essentially black too, like all the things. But Keiko was a digger,
Mm.
so she used to dig all the time. And once we got to this house, I would say maybe a month in or so, Keiko dug herself under the fence and out. But she did come back. It was like it took I would say a day or two, but she did come back. But she did all that just to dig again and
Mm-hmm.
dig the both of them out. So they both went and we never saw them again. That was like a
Um.
week before my birthday.
Oh.
So yes, because I remember Kayla coming over like, "What happened to the dogs?" And I was like, "Girl, it will just they go."
I actually really enjoy the name Keiko. I was gonna ask you to call me that, but having
Yeah,
second
well, I
thoughts
mean,
now. Oh,
you
I'll
know
follow
what?
up.
I can we can still I can do that. I it's still
Because I'm
fond
not leaving
memories
you.
of Keiko. You know what? It's fond memories. Keiko was a good dog. She was just a digger. Like she used to
Yeah.
dig all the time at the old house, but she never dug herself out. But I guess they said, "Girl, we don't like this house, so we finna go." Like
Right.
I don't know. Like
I
which at
hope
the
Keiko.
time I could understand the sentiment. I mean, you know, great gowns, beautiful gowns. The house is nice, but I was not interested in moving at the time either. So here we are. It's fine. Love it
They
now.
are happy and well taken care of wherever they
That's
are
it.
right
I'm
now.
sure.
Shout
I
out
mean,
to
at this time, that was ooh, 15 years ago. So doggy have been doing great things. But you know, the following March, we got Shorty, and here we are. Now he's old and but doing doing his
since we're
best.
talking about the dogs.
Right, the dogs.
This ain't even
Oh,
my
shit.
dog.
You
This
know what? It's not your dog. Where is Lacey?
ain't even my dog. And he
Lacey's
up here
probably on her
peacefully
bed.
sleeping.
Right.
And she is minding her business.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, sidebar. Now, y'all, I feel like I've talked about Lacey and Apollo in past episodes. Um, but I actually saw them two play together. So I have an overly anxious chihuahua. She don't like nobody. She don't be trying to talk to nobody.
No,
She don't even be trying to talk to him. Like she don't even be trying to talk to the dog.
no,
No.
child.
I saw them two. It's almost been a year since they've been stuck together. And I literally
Yeah.
just saw them playing together for the first time. Like run, 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 like playing. And it just brought my heart so much joy. I haven't seen it since. I probably won't see it again, but
You know
it was
what? I
cute.
mean, you'll
It
see
was
it
cute while it
again.
lasted. He tried to
That's
play
the
with her
hope
last
of
night, and she
getting
was just like,
over anxious attachment. um,
mm,
it's the hope.
"No, you gotta
Oh,
when you anxious,
baby.
you gotta come out to
You
play
know,
like once a year, and then go back to your bed. Like
you
that's
know
enough.
what?
I'm done."
You know what? I tried. I tried to see. Tried to give the girls a little hope. Um, it's fine. Everything's fine.
So also in the realm of Black shows, because we know y'all all that seen Insecure. If you have not watched Harlem on Amazon Prime, which is Megan Good's show, I'm gonna need y'all to tune
Hilarious.
in. I'm gonna need y'all to watch
Hilarious.
that. Um, it is not Insecure, but it's a good Insecure substitute.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and it has its own vibe, its own
It
feel.
does.
It's a super cute show. Um,
It's a different
and
city. I feel like that adds to it, like because they very much so incorporate like New York City
New York,
itself
they do.
into the
They do.
show. So much like Insecure did LA, like it just, I think it gives that.
And since we're talking about fuckboys, never mind, because I was about to ruin the show. Y'all just
You
watch
know
Harlem
what?
on Amazon Prime. Just
Watch
know the
Harlem.
fuckboys abound in
You
every
know
black
what?
publication, apparently. Um,
And watch Grand Crew, y'all. Support our
on what's that? Come on,
insecure people
look,
on
Grand Crew,
NBC.
Abbott Elementary. Watch all the black
Yes,
shows. If you
yes,
see
all
a
the
black
black shows.
person, watch it,
Watch it.
because they don't get
Yes.
seasons without us watching. I
I was
don't
about
care
to
if you like
say,
it. I don't care if it's your type of show.
that's
Watch it
it.
anyway.
Watch it.
Record
Watch
it,
it.
mute it, watch it. I don't care.
Because we're coming
But also,
back.
Abbott Elementary is hilarious.
Hilarious.
That is a funny ass show. Like
Quinta
is.
wonderfully,
I'm just like, look at
done.
what we're. And for y'all who don't know who Quinta Brunson is, a
large, yes.
That's Quinta.
Okay. We literally came from a large to getting the large, bag.
She's been greenlit, baby. She has her own show, Abbott Elementary.
And she did that pitch like 4 years ago. That's how you know things are not overnight, y'all. Yes, things are not overnight. And even with that, she did that pitch like 4 years ago, and I think they said that whoever she pitched it to said that was the most well thought out pitch that they had ever seen, and it still took 4 years to do. Like,
but I mean, even Issa's show took 2 years. Insecure took 2 years to get on air. So I don't know. You know what? I'm not even gonna go down that.
Insecure changed their show too. Y'all will see that in the documentary, because she wanted to have it very much so more focused on We Got Y'all than it was about like Friends. It wasn't until somebody being like, girl, yo, Friends, that's the show. Like, that she kind of did a hybrid of the two.
Because I feel like
at first it was a hybrid.
The Office version of Insecure, I mean, it would have been cute. It would have been funny,
it would have been cute, but it wouldn't have been what it was, what we loved.
It wouldn't have been what it was. It wouldn't have been what it was. But yeah, no, seriously, watch Grand Crew. I am Noah. I can't even watch that show without like. It's hard out here for the hopeless romantic.
You know what? It is. You are Noah.
If y'all see my ID on the floor, just know it's not for you. Keep walking. Keep walking. I know where I left it. It's not for you.
It's honestly, it's Nicole Byer character for me. It's the one where
his
they
sister, they make the show. God, they make the show.
Because whoever's like the one that dropped her ID, that's now a part of this friend group, like, she's like, you were on Broadway in 3 shows, like, and you
work here, you
like, you were married, your ex-husband, like, you speak German, like, like, it's just all it was just so many things. This was like, I know absolutely nothing about you.
Zero. Nothing. That's the level of mystery I ascribe to. Like, what? Yeah. Nothing. That's the reaction I want you to have when you encounter me.
Wow.
So in the realm of TV, and obviously me and Shelby, we talk about this for a while, but there were 2 shows. Are these both on Netflix? Too Hot to Handle.
One is on Netflix. One is on HBO Max. Too Hot to Handle is on Netflix, and F-Boy Island is on HBO Max. And they're both a journey. They are both a journey.
Ooh.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, you know what? And actually, I'm just gonna pass this over to Shelby, because I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I am drinking a hot toddy right now, so a wee bit intoxicated. But I really didn't want to have this conversation about the F-boys, because I have personally been traumatized by a variety of boys.
But that's why we have to have my shirt. The conversations, because the girls, you know what, right? Y'all can't see our shirts. Well, some of y'all may be able to, some of y'all may be listening, some of y'all may be actually watching when y'all hear this, but she has her broke up with him t-shirt on, while I have my breakup with him shirt on. All brought to you by The Read. Um, and
The original Black podcast.
I support the mission. Anybody who knows me knows that I have, at this point, I have 4 different versions of break up with him shirts. And one of them being break up with them, but still, all in the same realm. And 2 break up with him mask. So I spread the message in any way that I can. I just feel like it's important. And if I had gotten it in time, I would have gotten the breakup with her too, because I'm equal opportunity. It really should be all y'all. Not all y'all, but y'all know when it's your time and y'all just ignore it. I just y'all ignore it every time. Um, but I just want to talk about how we get here with the F boys. Like, I just want to talk about who they are, what they do, how they operate. Because they're just such an interesting species. I'm gonna call them a species of men. And yes, men, because F boys. Like they say like I just told you, they say on F Boy Island, F boy, F bi. Like, I don't know why we keep keeping them around. But I am watching, I'll say I'm watching Too Hot to Handle, especially. I'll make that one the focus, because at least, again, growth with that one. You see at least why they are the way they are, because they come in, the show comes in hot. Everybody just sees all these gorgeous people keep showing up to the island, and they're like, who are you? Let's do all the things. I'm going to have a great time, just for their 12 hours to be done, and Lana to come in and be like, actually, no, you're not. You're not going to do a thing. You're not going to kiss. You're not going to have sex. You're not going to masturbate. You're not going to do any of the things for the next month that you are on this island. You come in, all that's gone. Hope you had fun for them 12 hours, because your stuff is gone now, all the privileges. And if you do things, it's going to cost the people money, because the grand prize, we start at 100,000, or the grand prize pot, I should say, starts at 100,000. But you do any of these things on the list, and the prize money goes down. And we're not talking like you're going to lose a couple hundred. If you kiss somebody, that's $3,000 off the grand prize. You give somebody, I'll say, oral sex. Oral sex, you give somebody, that's $6,000 gone. You have actual sex, that's $20,000 off.
So Squid Games for fuckboys?
Basically.
Jesus.
The girls and the boys are struggling, because none of them are used to going any amount of time, really,
right,
without any of this stuff. So it's just all the things. And like I said, everybody looks great. Like, they're coming in excited, ready, did all the things. Some of them have, even used the 12 hours to that event. They don't know that they have 12 hours before any of this. So they're just coming in, doing all the things like they normally would. Just for Lana to come in hot, be like, nah. But to help them throughout this, because it is essentially a retreat that they are at. So to help them, they bring in certain experts to help the girls, to help the guys. Like, they brought in Shan Boodram in the
okay, Shan.
Yes. In the first season, they brought her in twice to talk about different things with the girls. One of them being like, what is it called? It was a Yoni Puja that was essentially representative of their vagina. She literally had them like look at their vagina, like giving them the mirrors, looking at their vaginas, because admittedly, a lot of us don't take the time to actually look down there and see what's going on, see what the girls like, see what it looks like, see what it's giving. None of the girls had actually taken the time, really, to do that. But a lot of them were like, wow, this is beautiful. Like they're just, in shock, all the things. Um, and she has them write about what, it means to them and all the things. And it was just like, an empowering moment for a lot of them because they're just like, you know what? This does mean something. Like they never realized what it even meant, what it should stand for, none of it. And it was just because one of the girls had just finished getting played by another guy, essentially. Because that's another thing they do. Occasionally they bring in new people during the show, throw a little salt on everything, and the new people don't always know what they're coming into. They just think, oh, we're coming to have a great time. No, girl, that's not how this goes. But the new people also, because they're new, don't really care about none of that often. So one guy came in hot with one of the girls. The girl's a little touched, not in a real, but like she calls herself touched essentially.
Okay.
And the guy was equally touched, that came in, because she was like, you're very chivalrous. He was like, what's that? Like, it's very, they touched. Okay,
got it,
touched.
got it.
So they eventually kiss, so boom, 3,000 off the grid.
I hope it
just
was
for
good.
him to get the opportunity to go on a date, and him choose to ask one of the girls that he knows is basically in a relationship with one of the guys on the island, just because he finds her to be the hottest one there. And he just had to, he don't care about none of that. Who cares? Shoot your shot. Especially since the guy in said relationship had told him, oh, just, play around, do what you want. Like, didn't know that he was encouraging him to play with his girl. Like, and they're like, she was like, I don't want to go on a date with him. I want to go on a date with you or whatever. And he was like, all right, well, that's settled. But just for the other couple to be like, hey, if y'all are as strong as y'all think y'all are, then honestly, none of this should even really matter.
Well,
it might be a good test of chastity, all the things. Like, and so she goes on the date and, admittedly is tempted because the man is fine and he is her type, like he is her ideal type. But she eventually comes to her and she's like, you know what, I can't do this to him, none of the things. But admittedly Chloe finds out because Rhonda told her, whatever. And so at first she comes for Francesca. She's like, you knew I had feelings for him and you did this anyways. We've been here the longest. I'm not talking to you no more. Please don't talk to me. Like, I'm not interested, girl. Leave me be. All right. Hope you and Harry, wish you the best. Like,
wish y'all the best.
Goes on about her day.
And that's it.
Then after the Yoni Puja, empowerment session, she goes to Corey, finally, who she should have gone for in the first place. And she's like, look, I know I have something special down here. Like, she was like, you literally led me on. You literally kissed me, did all these things, told me you liked me, just to turn around and ask Francesco on a date. Like, what are we even talking about? He was like, and all these people British, not all of them, but half the cast is British. So she's like, that's really mighty of you. Like, I can't even do the accent. But he was like, if you think it's a bit mighty, then it's a bit mighty. Like, I was just like, did you not, what part of that wouldn't be muddy, my guy? Like, you did all of this. A plus B equals C. I thought, I don't, she's just like, I know what I have going on. I know what I'm worth now, all the things. And he was just like, I mean, I don't even want to do anything with it. She was like, I'm not giving you the opportunity anymore. Like, believe me, I'm just telling you that what you did was wrong. You should really try to think about it from now on. Really start trying to tell people the truth, all the things. And he was just
Tell
like,
people
I'm
something.
gonna get up from this conversation and do the because I don't have anything to say. I'm not, he was like, I'm bored of this
Because I'm a fuck
conversation.
boy.
I'm
Right.
not
Yeah.
interested, all the
Yeah.
things. So you have ones like that that I just feel like are really irredeemable.
Hmm.
Because it's what are you? Because it sounds like you don't even know how you got here, why you're here, why you're doing this to people. It's just fun for you. Um, but then you have other ones on the show that at least is like, okay, so I just got out of a relationship where my girlfriend cheated on me with my best friend. So I don't trust anybody. Okay, I can see why you just out here in the world just doing you, brother. Like, I can see why that would lead you to be like, you know what? I'm not trying to actually make something real out of this. I am just trying to soil the oats, go on about my day.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess my thing is at least know the type that you're dealing with if you
Hmm.
can figure that out. That would be my best advice for these people. Try to get, this is why you should be trying, we should all be doing a better job of trying to get to know the people on the other side of things anyways. Um because unfortunately we really just, let me, okay, I'll give this another example, another show example. One of the guy, what's his name? David goes out with Chloe in the beginning of the thing because the sexual chemistry is obviously there between the two. They go out on a date. Of course, they can't do anything. So, they're talking, doing the things, whatever. They were tempted to kiss at one
Okay.
point, didn't do anything. And she was like, while the sexual chemistry is obviously there between the two of us, I don't know how much further it's going to go seriously. And honestly, when she said that, my first thought was, do you really not know if this has the potential to go anywhere? Or do you not even know what it looks like for it to go further
Mm.
anymore? Because you've been so, all right. Because she said in the beginning, like, she'll go out with somebody, they'll start to catch feelings after like the third date, and she'll be like, ill, no, bye. And that's, so I mean, you're not even used to having to take it
Right.
further. So what do you really know that it couldn't work? Because I mean, y'all got along well, y'all were laughing,
Right.
joking, doing the things. So what does it take for you
Right.
to want to develop something, I guess?
Right.
That's so some real evaluation would come in
Well,
handy.
this is what I'll say in terms of evaluation. And keep in mind, this is from my personal experience.
Yes.
Um, and don't be in my comments. I know how you girls like to tussle. A lot
Okay,
of black
Jasmine.
men, I'm just saying, a lot of black men are afforded the opportunity to be very one dimensional. And when I say that, what I
Mm-hmm,
mean
mm-hmm.
is because we have, let me not even say we, because society has essentially boxed black men into their box, a
Mm-hmm.
black man who is an athlete, a black man who has gone to a prestigious school, a black man who has a good job, a black
Mm-hmm.
man who has his own business, let alone a black man who has all four of these things,
Well,
that can be their personality. No one is asking you about your mama and your daddy. No one's asking you about what you really like. No one is asking the
ding
real
ding ding.
questions to get to understand your character, because we can sit here and talk about Morehouse all day long. We can sit up here and talk about your nice job all day long and about what you want to do for work and your career can be your identity. But no one will ever know what upsets you. No one will ever know what makes you tick. No one will ever know any of the things. And I should be sharing this, but it's funny. So my personal fuckboy, we had a conversation where he was basically saying that his dad was texting other women, and his mom had got pissed about it, and it was like this whole thing. And so after he tells me this, I'm like, do you see any similarities
Well,
between you and your dad? And he's like, I mean, besides the fact we both like nice shoes and we both like, you know, designer things, no. And I'm just like, because again, at this point, I already know he's a fuckboy. So that means that me and him have had our own fuckboy experience. And I'm just sitting here like, so you don't see it. I can't make you see it, but I just wanted to present to you the possibility that you and your daddy might have more in common than you thought. And that's just something that you need to think about as an individual. But fuckboys don't have to think about stuff like that. They don't think about how their relationship with their parents, and again, y'all, say what you want, blame it on who you want, but that relationship that you have with your primary caregivers when you are a child literally influences every relationship that you have for the rest of your fucking life. So please do not ever come talking to me talking about, oh, my mama and daddy go. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Did you grow up in the projects? Yes, it does. Did you have running water? Oh, no. So that's why you're so XYZ? Yes, because all of those things and all of that anxiety and insecurities that you had as a child is the exact reason why you act how you do today as an adult. So it was just very interesting to me for this man. And before I even asked him that, I'm like, well, how did that make you feel to see your parents arguing? And how did that make you feel to hear that your dad was doing this? And he's just, oh, I didn't care. I'm like, of course not, because you don't fucking care when you do it. Like, my point is, when you're evaluating men, talk to them about something other than their titles, about their job, their school, the sports they played, them going to the gym, them trading stocks, all of these things that literally you can get on YouTube and learn how to do. Skip right past that. Because literally in that moment where I was like, oh, do you see how like your similarities to your dad? Do you see the fact that your parents have been together 30 years and they're still not married? Do you not think that has anything to do with your commitment? So like the reason why you don't feel it necessary to commit, because the parallels seem right there. Like it doesn't, you don't even have to look hard.
It's not
why
a leap.
would you feel the need to commit when your dad has had a girlfriend for 30 years? And she just so happens to be your mom, and she's literally stood beside him through all of his fuckboy shenanigans. So it would be a reach to say that you also want someone to stand beside you through all your fuckboy shenanigans for 30 years, just for you not to marry them and still be putting them, like, besides the point. Just ask questions beyond the basic things. I mean, I know, even speaking for myself, I don't really tell people certain things about me. Like, I'm not going to tell you what school, because people will try to make UNC my identity. People will try to make me being an ex-military spouse my identity. All of these things that have nothing to do with my character or the content of me as a person, they're just titles that got put on to me because of the choices I made in life.
Right.
So you can ask me about the choices, but don't get too hung up on the title, because your man can be a CEO and drive a Maserati and do all of these other things. But maybe he's only doing that to feed his ego as opposed to anything else.
Oftentimes they are.
Like anything else. These types of people, especially fuckboys, they just want to feed their ego. And I just personally believe, as a woman, it's important that you recognize that. Go ahead and put them in the community dick pile and get what you can get. And go to hell on about your day. Don't catch feelings. Don't be sitting up here crying because a fuckboy fucked you over, because that's what fuckboys do. Get what you can get. Don't pitch a fit. And have a great time. Have fun. Ride it like a rodeo. Do what you need to do. But leave your feelings at home, because they don't give a fuck, and you shouldn't either. And what you can't do is hurt their feelings. They don't care. They don't have feelings. They don't know what emotions are. They've never met that girl. They've never visited with her. They don't know what feelings are, because they can't even be honest with themselves to admit how they feel. So why would you think they're gonna care about how you feel? They don't. Skip right on over that. Get what you need or whatever you came to get, which requires an equal amount of honesty on both sides. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, if you can sit
Yeah.
here and say, "Oh, this person is fuckboy," and you continue to deal with them, why are you doing that? What is it
That's
that you
it.
want? What is it that you want from this person? Get that and leave everything else at home. Leave everything else at home. Your dignity, yourself, just leave it at the door. Go get what you came to get and get on with it. But don't blame them.
Honestly, leave it on the mat,
Don't blame
child.
them because they know exactly what they're doing. So that would sound like, oh, I should blame them because they know exactly what they're doing. No, because you're
Mm-hmm.
allowing them to do it. You're letting them do
That's
it. You're
it.
letting them do it to you. And believe me, once you stop, they're going to go do it with somebody else. So just let them do that with them. Get what you need if you really have to get it from them and get on about your day. Because fuckboys, they really don't care. They don't. I would like to believe that men aren't doing all of this deception and shit for some pussy because, I mean, there's OnlyFans, there's prostitutes, pussy is everywhere, but they really act like it's not. And it's not even about the coochie more so than it is about getting the coochie from you because you don't want to give it to somebody. All of this psychological games that these people be trying to play so that their ego feels more bolstered. Just recognize the role you play in that, get what you need and go. But get that head, that bread, then leave.
And
Peace
leave.
out. So that's my fuckboy advice.
Well, let's get into that. Let's get into, sometimes the multiple reasons for why F boys are the way they are. Because I'm saying F boy because we're gonna circle on around F boy island, and this is gonna be a spoiler for, much like honestly Too Hot to Handle was. I mean, there's plenty more on Too Hot to Handle to watch, y'all. Don't. I only gave a, few little examples. Plenty of such to watch on there. But we're gonna circle. I'm saying spoiler alert for this, especially because I'm giving away the end of or part of the ending on this show because there's one guy on there. Well, let's start with this. F Boy Island consists of 12 self-proclaimed nice guys and 12 self-proclaimed F boys that come on this island trying to win three different girls, essentially. They get the same chance to win these three different girls. Um, a different guy, each of them gets to kick off a different guy every week, but much like Too Hot to Handle, sometimes new girls get sent in. New guys, I should say. Let me be proper for the people. New guys get sent into the mix. So the girls have the task of trying to decipher who's an F boy and who's a nice guy. Um, because there are times when they're kicking the guys off, and sometimes they get lucky and kick off three F boys. Sometimes they're unfortunately kicking off three nice guys between the three of them. You just never know what they're going to do. But there is one in particular on the show, and his name is Garrett. And Garrett just knows that he is everybody's favorite. He is going in for the kill. He's there to win the game. He tells you, he's in his confessionals, I'm here to get the girl and win the game. Okay, he makes it very clear. Um, he tells you, like, because there was one girl he was going for at first. It wasn't giving between him and CJ, I guess. So he went on to Sarah. Ended up being able to score a date with Sarah. We go out with Sarah, and he tells in his confessionals again, he tells the girls, we're just, you make them feel safe if you open up a little bit because it just makes them open up and they think you're opening up to be the good guy when really I'm just trying to get you to open your legs. That's how he put it. So he does. He opens up a bit, talks about, and I mean, honestly, couldn't even tell you if this is his real life. I hope it is. I hope he wasn't making up lies to this degree, talking about he was adopted from Russia and So is his sister, and his sister is deaf, and all the things. Like, I mean, it gives a good open story. Okay, gives a good open story for this first date. Makes you feel like you're coming into his world. That's what made Sarah feel like she was getting into his world as well, and no longer felt the F boy vibes and all the things, right? Here we go. So we're going to flash forward a bit because he makes it a good while on the show. And eventually the girls are able to go through the Instagrams of the guys that are left, or the social medias in general. So we get to Garrett's social media, and Garrett's social media is giving I'm still in love with my ex. Whoever said girl is giving that. Um, like, to the point where it was pretty recent, and they're just like, is he in a relationship? Like, confused. The
Right.
girls are confused. So we approach Garrett about this. Garrett says, no, we broke up, da, 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 all the things or whatever.
Yeah.
He even FaceTimes said girl with Sarah, and they say, no, we broke up X, Y, and Z ago, all the things, right? Cool. So we flash forward to him essentially making it to the end. The last, it's for the last couple of episodes, it's between two guys per girl, okay? Each of them end up having one nice guy, one F boy, essentially. So they get to go on two 24-hour dates, one with the nice guy, one with the F boy. Sarah goes on her 24-hour date with Garrett, and they finally break down the walls, have a great time. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm really, and had been saying throughout his confessionals, he was like, I really came into this with this, but I'm really starting to like her and all the things. Like, I really don't want to let this go. Blah, blah, blah. Wonderful, great gowns, beautiful gowns, right? So fast forward to the point where they are choosing their guys, and the guys get to give like the final speeches to the girls, declaring their love, all the things, whatever. And Garrett does this wonderful speech about how he wants to be the one that she uh has cold pizza with, and the one that makes her coffee every morning, and just all the things. Just, I want to be that guy for you. I came into this, you've changed me, all the things.
Yeah.
Again, great
Aww.
gowns, beautiful gowns, right?
Aww.
All right. So, the grand prize, because apparently the girls love this amount. The grand prize is again $100,000. So, essentially, of course, because why would she not choose Garrett to be her guy to go off into the sunset with after this great speech, great time, all the things? So, the plot twist of F Boy Island is that you choose, essentially, once you choose the guy, they are the ones that are awarded the $100,000. And if they choose to get into a relationship with you, then y'all split the money. Otherwise, they get to keep it for themselves. So,
In true
of
F boy
course,
fashion.
what does Garrett do? Garrett says, you know, I came into this
Here we go.
20% nice guy, 80% F boy. And after all the things that we've done, we've gone through, I can admittedly say that you've changed me for the better. And I am now leaning into 40% nice guy, 60% F boy. Okay. So I've really enjoyed our time together, but honestly, I'm going to have to end our relationship. Going to have to end it right here.
Thank you.
All the girls what? Like, discussed all the things. Everybody's offended, like, as they should be, honestly, because he said this was, I came in here. This is a game show, essentially. I came in here to win the game. I did that. Uh, in his confessional, I think it was in his confessional. Honestly, I hope it was in his confessional. He
Mm-hmm.
said, usually being an F boy is a sprint. This was a marathon. I had to do the long thing, long game, all the things. That reminds me of something from Too Out to Handle, but we'll get back to that. Um, and he was like, I'm I'm proud. I made it here. I did it. All the things. So Sarah is obviously like, he was like, I'm sorry. She was like, no, you're not. Just say you wanted the money. Like, obviously, you just wanted the money. Like, just say you wanted the money and go. Like, she was like, fuck off. Like, just say you want the money and go.
Right.
Um, he started to say, because the other girls were like, she's being way nicer to you than I ever would have been, because I would have beat you by now. Like, Nakia was like, honestly, you think it's embarrassing for her, but honestly, this is embarrassing for you. Like, this is a true show of your character, and it's
True
much more
show.
embarrassing for you than it could ever be for her, whether you realize that or not. Um, and he started to say something else, and Sarah was just like, if I were you, I would just be quiet. Just be quiet or whatever. But then here was the real gotcha moment for him, because the host, Nikki Glacier, I want to say that's how you say her name.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she says, so even though we have told you that you will be winning this $100,000, she was like, we don't really think that F boys should be rewarded for being F boys. So the $100,000 that you've won is actually going to go to the charity of Sarah's choosing.
Ooh.
So F boy, F off. That's what we ended with. That's what we ended
As
with
you
for
should have.
Garrett.
Ooh,
But
child, this has
Garrett was
triggered me.
still proud as he had his check in his hand for charity of Sarah's choosing. Garrett still walked off proud. Still walked off a proud man, because he still won the game. He still marathon, not a sprint, baby. Marathon. And to add
Mm.
fuel to the fire, I watched last night, because I guess there was a podcast the whole time, an official podcast for the show, in a sense. So they were talking to him during the podcast, and they were like, what the hell happened? Like, what was, like, what were you thinking, my guy? Like, all the things. And they were just like, so you really didn't like her or not? He was like, I wouldn't say that. Like, that's not, they were like, so there was just never any chance for love for you. And he was like, I mean, you never know. I really did come to like her. Like, I really did do all the things. Like, so you did all this for a girl that you actually, and I believe him. Like, you did all this for a girl that you actually did like. Why would you still think in your mind that you still had a chance with this after you just did that to her on television? Why would you still think that you could go to her today and be like, you know what? I actually really did enjoy our time together. I really did, what, maybe we're 40% F boy now and 60% nice guy. Like, what are we talking about? Please go.
But they
Please take your
do
things
think
and
that.
go.
I don't even know if I want to classify this person as a fuck boy, but
Well,
someone that I had to ask, not even ask, it was more of a request to do something
mhm,
rather basic because this person doesn't live here. And I had asked this person to FaceTime with me, and they didn't want to for whatever reason. Said they didn't like the
mhm,
way they
mhm.
looked on camera. The same person be posting pictures on Instagram of how they look. This same person pulled up to where I live with another woman this weekend. And I'm just like, but won't you texting me on Thursday? Like, didn't we just have a conversation? Does she know that? Because I know that. Like, did you think? And I'm like literally taking the time to explain to him why. And I'm just like, because I try to be like, maybe y'all don't know. Maybe I don't even want to go so far as to say your mama didn't raise you right. But as Summer says, I should have started with your mama. She should have whooped your ass. Like,
I mean,
so I'm explaining to him like how this stuff, like, we're talking about FaceTime. Like, what are we talking about? You could have just told me that you was, but instead, oh, I like, men are, and that is the sentence. They do have the audacity to think, oh, I can do this to her and she'll still want to be with me.
yes.
I don't know if that's an inflated sense of ego that makes you think that you can't do any wrong and that people will always accept you, or if it's I know you have low self-esteem, so I know that I can do anything to you and you'll still want me around. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a combination of the two. But either way it goes, is decent people who want to die with their karma on the right side of history don't behave like that. Like, why even put somebody that you claim to care about in a situation like that? You know, and not even say about the whole FaceTime thing, but in general, like, why are you putting me in a situation where it's you or my morals, like you or my requirements? And if I've done my part to communicate with you and tell you what those things are and try to like work through that with you, what do you think I'm supposed to do when literal dust is what you give me?
Unfortunately, it's a combination of the two, the inflated ego and the low self-esteem of it all, apparently. Because, this is a question that I've been asking for quite some time. Ladies, why do we keep accepting this? Why do y'all go, like, they think they can come back because honestly, girls, sometimes you let them come.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. Y'all should start asking yourselves, why are you allowing this behavior and then acting shocked again when you get the same result? I don't
and that's
understand.
why I said, be clear. You, like you just said, you have to look within and say, this is what I'm trying to get: some D, some attention, some cuddles, and know that it's that, so that when they do re-F boy, because it's
yes.
not, when they re-F boy, you're not surprised, because we all, I am not unique in the fact that I feel like every woman knows like top tier F boy, like he just be out here da 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 da, and then he finds that woman and is a completely different person. You're just not that girl, sis. You're just not that girl. And that's fine. Because why do you want to be that girl for somebody that you're not that girl for? Don't let your ego try to match their ego, and then you out of character doing all types of stuff because you trying to prove to them that you are that girl when they've already told you that you're not. Excuse me. They've already shown you that you're not that girl.
Showed you.
They've already shown you that you're not that girl. So you can think that you're that girl, and you are, for someone else. And it's really that simple. So get whatever you need from Johnny G Fuckboy and go be that girl from someone else. Oh, you know what? Not even going to do it. It's very difficult to be that girl for somebody else when you're still playing with Johnny G Fuckboy. But hey, do your thing, get what you need, heal, whatever. My point is, I don't even want to say men, because women do the same thing. People will take what they can get from you if you are giving it. And if they've taken once, don't be surprised when they take again. Ain't nobody in Target's security department shocked when they see me on the camera on self-checkout sliding something in that bag, baby. They not surprised because they already know if it's under $5, it's going in that bag, and I'm not gonna scan it. That's the same way the
You
fuckboys
know
operate.
what? You know
You
what?
let me do this before, and you ain't say nothing. So now you mad? I just don't understand why you're so upset with me. Oh well, sweetie, I just no stop. You right. I'll hit you up next time I need something. Point blank. Period. Let it go. These men are not ignorant. They know what they're doing.
You're not ignorant.
People
They
are
do
not
know what they're doing.
stupid. People are not stupid. Very much so, like that example you gave with the people from Too Hot to Handle. She won't stupid when she asked him on a date. People are not
Right.
stupid. They know
Right.
exactly what they're doing. They make conscious choices. And if they're
Mm-hmm.
not making conscious choices, the fact that they are just maneuvering without thinking about it, that's their business. Other people that you don't need to keep around you, because again, if you just moving through the world not at all considered with how it affects other people, oh my God, what a time to bring this up. Thinking about the middle of this panorama, because half of y'all out in the club right now. Y'all in Sunday brunch right
Right
now.
now.
You are so concerned about what you want and what you're trying to get that you neglect the fact that your actions have consequences for
Mm-hmm.
every person that touches you. Up into and including your mama and your daddy. Like, it has consequences all up and down the chain. But you don't think about that until Sarah's mama is running up on your mama at the Safeway because
Well,
you didn't hurt her daughter and she feel away. Like, y'all don't think about the shit until it blows up in your face. And again, much like I was saying earlier, we will sit there and write off a man's action. Oh, he's an Omega. That's what they do. He's from this. So that's what they do. And he did that. And that's what they do. And you're letting things that have nothing to do with the individual justify that individual's actions and completely removing the accountability from that person to be responsible for their actions. You just taking that off of them completely. Like, who cares? Because I know your mom didn't love you and your parents have been dating for 30 years. So, of course, you don't know what a committed relationship looks like. It's fine. I can show you. No, you can't, girl. No, you can't. No, you can't.
well,
No, you can't. Get that head, that bread, then leave.
then leave.
Peace out. Like, it's really that simple. Don't let your feelings get wrapped up into these fuckboys, because at the end of the day, they're going to do what's best for them until they come across whoever it is that does whatever they need them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
just not you. And that's fine. You don't want to be for everyone. You don't. I don't want to be for
No.
everyone. You don't want to be for, this is what everyone has to offer. I don't want to be for everyone. Like, I don't even want to have these types of conversations with people explaining to you why we need to FaceTime when you live 3 hours away from me. Why do I have to explain that to you? How am I supposed to get to know you from way down yonder and I'm up here? But I'm trying to convince. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. But you don't have no issue packing up the car and coming up here. Okay. Oh, all right. Again, people do what they want for who they want to do it for. Don't take that personal. It's just a truth. It's just a truth. People do what they want for who they want to do it for. And it says, oh, I'm just not that important to them and I don't mean anything. No, no. That particular person doesn't have what you need to feel valued. And that's all it is. They're not qualified for you, not you not being qualified for them. They don't meet your
Here it is.
qualifications. So don't be beating yourself up over a fuckboy being a fuckboy, because they could never be a nice guy to you. They couldn't. They don't have the range. And that says nothing about you or your standards, and everything about them, because they're going to meet someone that they will get the range for and that they will do these things for, and it's just not you. And that's okay, because maybe they like that freaky deaky nasty stuff. Maybe they want you to suck their toes, and maybe that's not your jam. Maybe you ain't sucking toes. You could have dodged this whole toe sucking incident by just removing yourself from the situation. Like, it could be anything. Maybe they want you to eat booty. You don't know. You don't know because you ain't never been there. But you're going to keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. And next thing you know, like, ain't
The
nobody doing
groceries.
that. Ain't nobody doing that. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Dodge the bullet. But nigga free in the night.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna start singing it. Um, but yes, ladies, honestly, you could save yourself a lot of time by doing exactly what we said earlier and starting off by asking some real questions. Not where'd you go to school, like she said, not, what's your favorite color? Like, we need some real depth questions to be asked. And honestly, because sometimes they won't, them not having the answers to said questions should really tell you all you need to know, and you can move on right
From there.
by. Like, if they don't have the
Because
answers, and sometimes even if they do, and you
if you don't
listen
like
and
the
you
answer,
like, I'm like, if you listen and it doesn't sound good, again, right on by, move right
like
on
that
by.
was the biggest turnoff for this man who has already exhibited to me fuckboy characteristics, who has already ruined past relationships with fuckboy characteristics, and you still can't take the moment to say, damn, maybe I got it from my dad. Like you can't even the biggest turnoff. Like it's a difference to be a fuckboy and it's a difference to uh be in denial about it. Like,
Well,
where do you think you learned these actions from? You think you just picked them up from TikTok? Like,
child, at
why
this
are you
point,
behaving in such a
they think.
manner? Why do you behave in such a manner? And you can't even answer that? I don't have it for you. I don't have it for you. Because, hey, say what you want about your girl, but if you ask me why I do something, I'm going to have
She
a
gonna
reason
know.
for you.
She gonna
I'm
know.
going to have a reason for you. You may not like it, but I'm going to have a
But she'll
reason for
know.
you.
That is true.
So I just, and maybe that's just my personal thing to bear, but I'm just like, again, you should know what leads your actions in a relationship. And on that
In
note, my
life.
children have waken up. So we're gonna wrap this up with food
Yeah,
for
I gotta
thought
wrap
because
this up.
apparently I don't deserve men. That's what I saw on Twitter before we started talking. That same
Well,
podcast with the two men, they were being mean to the dark skinned girl. I want to say it was Asian Doll or somebody. They were up there talking about how like a woman's social value or whatever diminishes if she has more kids. And I'm like, oh, that's what's wrong with me.
Jesus.
They were like, yeah, because your vaginal elasticity and you get stretch
Wow.
marks. And yeah, and a man could have 50 women pregnant at one time and that wouldn't say anything about him. And I'm just like, y'all would rather look at a woman. And
Yes.
again, the way my family is set up, the way my cousin with 5 kids just
Yes.
got remarried, baby, and is
Right.
a lawyer, y'all not finna sit up in my face talking. No, no, nope, nope. Because it doesn't. It simply, all of this is made up. It's not true. But again, men with big egos like to take situations and try to manipulate them and make things fit their worldview so that they can get what they want. That's not our job. That's not anyone's job as an individual to fall into someone else's worldview.
Anything.
It's
Yes.
not. It's not. It's not.
I agree.
I love that, buddy, but I'm doing something right now. So if you can give me like 10 minutes, I can fix the toothbrush brigade, but okay. Okay. Because he washed his toothbrush and got angry at me. Am I supposed to unwash the toothbrush?
Child, both of them have gotten angrier for less. But we're
Well,
not even we won't even get into that right now. We'll just leave the girls with, honestly, the overwhelming theme of all this is think before you act. Like, it's
ooh,
really, that's the overwhelming theme of it all. And that
ooh,
applies to every aspect of life. Please think before you act.
As a parent of a 7-year-old, yes. Because don't nothing burn me up inside. I've literally instructed my 7-year-old, if you don't have a reason, if
You
you
did
have
say
not
this?
thought through why you are about to do what you are about to do, don't do it. It's literally that simple. If you don't have a solid reason, I want to do this because I don't care if the reason is good, bad, or in between, but baby, you better have a reason and you better stand on it. And when somebody asks you about it, stand on it because that's what you made your decision about. If you see her,
Well,
oh, Kiana, you knew he was a footboy. Why did you go in? Because that dick was mine. Like, I'm going to have a reason. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Good, bad, or in between. You can judge me about that reason, but I had a reason.
right.
Whatever it is, that's my reason. I wasn't just out here, oh, well, he just texted me. And the next thing I know, no, because there were 17 steps in between that text message. Excuse me. To you winding up upside down, doing a 10 toes up, 10 toes down. There were tons of steps in between there. So don't be acting like, and that's literally, this is my food for thought. Fuckboy's favorite tool is I don't know, it just got away from me. Are you not a grown adult? Do you not make decisions? Did someone decide? Did someone put your key in the ignition and drive, or did you drive yourself? So how did you get there? And when you was in the car, you ain't think.
No.
Don't let people sit up in your face and try to act like things were just accidental, because they weren't. They weren't. Even if they didn't think it all the way through, they thought enough to get them to take action. And that's their thing. That's them. That's on them. That's not on you. That's on them. So leave that with them. Leave that with
It's
them.
that simple.
That's their choices. They have to deal with the consequences. They have to be accountable for it. It's really that simple.
It is.
And if you don't like it, break up with them.
Break up with them. It's really that simple. Even if y'all not actually together, break up with them. Because I know that's what a lot of the girls do. They're not actually together, but break up with him.
It's 2022. New year, new you, new niggas.
Please.
Clear out the roster. Please. I know it seems like there's only like 10 good ones left, and there probably is, but you know what? We can just have a Squid Game over them. It's fine.
You know what?
But don't let
these rusty crusties. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to the right. It doesn't mean that you have to go to the terrible ones just because the good supply is few and far between. It really doesn't mean that you have to circle back to the rusty ones. And that's what gets y'all every time. Y'all think that y'all have to circle back. And you don't.
Tired
you really
of being
don't.
alone. Yeah. Arguing on the phone. Yeah,
maybe that's another food for thought. Figure out why you are so uncomfortable being alone.
My love.
But we can save that for another day. But just right there, just figure out why you are so uncomfortable being alone. That you allow, because that's why you're allowing this behavior to happen. That's why you're allowing this behavior to re-enter again, because you are just that terrible and that uncomfortable about being alone.
Being alone. Yeah.
That is what it is. That's the only reason you're allowing this behavior to keep happening. Because you
love, because I'm real.
You know
the way
what?
You walk, the way you talk. Why? Really we've been in a panorama. Half of y'all been in the house by yourself for the last 2.5 years. Why?
Still can't be alone. Because there's been somebody on the phone, through pigeons. I don't know. There's been somebody the whole time. There's never really alone. That's what the girls don't really get. There's never really alone. That's why y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all never really allow yourselves to actually be alone.
Tired of being alone. Yeah.
You know what?
On the phone. Yeah.
That is our food for thought. Ladies and gentlemen, we and all the girls, we will be back in a couple weeks. That's what we are. We're bi-weekly now. We will be back in a couple weeks to give the girls what we need. All right.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I was supposed to say something rude. Remember, guys, wrap it up. This is is what happens if you don't. Okay. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to say that.
And that is the note we are going to end
Oh,
on. All
okay,
right.
let's-
But
But